Hello. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining today. I hope I'm audible and clear to everyone. Yes. Hi, hi, hi. Good evening. Right. So today our session would be on the leave year-end process team. So we would be having the session, but on since it's an year-end, right? So we would be doing this leave year-end process session today. So the session is likely to begin at 4 5 p.m. since we already have 290 people waiting for us today. So I think we'll just wait for a couple of more minutes, like 3 to 4 minutes, and then we'll try to begin the session sharp at 4 5 p.m. Right? So, right. Also, I would like to add our chat executive today who would be helping with your queries in the background. So, who is Miss Amol, is trying to add an handout today, right? So under the handouts column, so you would be able to download that, like what's the session about, like how you can do the year-end processing on your own. In case after the session, if you have any queries, you can just refer to the handout as well, right? Right. So once you navigate to the handout column, you would be able to wave once it's got attached. Let me just check on that. Yes, it has been attached. You can just go back to the handouts column and just refer to the document. Okay, we'll just wait for next 2 minutes and then we'll begin the session, right? Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Yes, the session is going to start now. Right, so I hope I'm audible to everyone and clear. If we can have a couple of yes on the chat, that would work. Great, guys. Thank you so much. Right. So for all the people like who don't know me, so this Javed, Javed. So I'm currently working as a team leader at Keka HR, and it's been more than 4 years that I've been associated with Keka. And we also have Amol Sharma on the chat who would be helping you with all your queries that you have throughout the session. So in case if you have any questions, you can just post to the over the chat. So Amol Sharma would be trying to answer all the questions, most of them. Right. So am I audible, guys? I just see a couple of cases where I see there is no audio. Right. So Bhaskar, if in case if I'm not audible, can you just try rejoining the session, or you can try to use a different headset? And also for the people like who say that they're or who are asking for like, will they be able to get the recording of the session, or is the session is getting recorded? Definitely yes, the session is getting recorded. and definitely you would be getting the recording up to your registered email ID. And however, we will try to upload the same in our YouTube channel as well. So don't worry about that. So once it's get uploaded, we'll try to share it with everyone. So in case if you didn't get that, you can get on our chat. Okay, so with chat channel, and you can get it from our chat team as well, right? So right, so I think Atri has a question, quick question. Like Atri, yeah, this session would be lasting around 45 minutes max. I would not take much of your time. I understand since it's payroll time, you might be little busy. I understand that. So definitely, I'll try to wrap it up soon. But definitely, I'll try to answer all your questions as well. Right? Okay, then, right. So, without much delay, I'll just give you a quick brief about the session today, like what we would be covering and what all covers in the year-end process, and how important it is for any organization to do the year-end process today, right? Okay, so year-end process is something that we do for every organization level. Okay, so this session would be more, sorry. So year-end processing is something that you do so at the end of the year, so in case if your company policy says that you want to carry forward certain number of leaves to the next year, okay. So let's assume there is a leave balance of an employee of 10. Okay, so if your policy says 5 casual leaves need to be carried forwarded to the next year, so in this case what you can do is, so you can create a policy in such that stating that leaves would be carried forward from the previous year to the next year. So everything this can be done only through the year end process, right? So until unless you do this process, none of your leave balances would be carried forwarded from the previous year, right? So Anmol, I think definitely I'll try to illustrate. So I'm just giving a brief on the session, like what we would be covering. Definitely I'll try to give you a demo as well on that. Okay, right. So adding to that, I think we will also be giving you a brief understanding about how does actually it works, right? So let's assume the employees, if you don't want to carry forward anything and just you want to expire everything whatever is there in this current year. Okay, so in this case you need to just run the configure the policy in such a way that so nothing would be carried forward, everything would get expired. Okay, and you can just complete your year end process so that all your year starts with a fresh new balance. Okay, so there might be a case where you also would have an encashment policy in place. Okay, so encashment as in, so whatever the balance the employee has, you would be giving a certain fixed amount to an employee. Okay, for the leave balance. Okay, so it might be a fixed amount or it might be based upon a calculation that you have, like you would be giving the 1 day salary for that employee for the number of days he has. Okay, so it depends on the organization. Okay, so that's about the different use cases of why do we do the year end process. Okay, so in case if you are not doing the year end process, none of your leave balances would get carried forwarded to the next year, right? So that's one case. And and one more question I see over the chat here is, so this session would be for the year end for the set of customers like whoever are doing the year end process for the leave calendar year of Jan to December. Okay, so let's assume if your leave calendar is from April to March, so this session would not be applicable for you because your year end would be commencing in the month of March, right? So this session is only for the companies who has the policy of year end process from Jan to December. Okay, right. So are we clear so far? Can we just go back to the quick demo and just check like how does the year end process really do? Great then. So I'll just quickly share my screen. You can just confirm if you're able to bear. Sorry if I'm troubling. Sorry guys, I just got off stage. Right. So I might be troubling a bit since I'm just interacting with you over chat, right? So this would be the only means to get a confirmation from your end. So I'll just try to share my screen. You can just confirm if you're able to bear. Just one last confirmation that would be right. Okay, so we can just confirm you if you are able to bear. Great. So don't worry about the screen resolution. I'll try to zoom wherever it's needed. So I'll try to zoom in the screen. No need to worry about the screen. Great. Right. Okay, right. So I'll try to help you understand like what are the things that needs to be taken care before you are initiating the year-end process for any leave policy. Okay. So firstly, you might have a question like where do I find the section of year-end process on Keka? Okay, so if I just quickly navigate, right? So you have a setting called as time attend. Okay. So under time attend, you have the section called as leave, right? So once you click on leaves, you would be navigated to the different leave plans that are configured in your system, right? So if I just select this leave plan of 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So there is a section called as year-end processing here, right? So for the people who missed it, so I'll try to again repeat what I said. To manage the year-end process, so you'll just quickly navigate to time attend, leave. So if you just go to that particular section, there you have leave plans. And under leave plans, so if you just go to any leave plan, so you have a section called as year-end processing, right? So from here, you would be able to initiate the year-end process. Okay, so here you would be getting an option of begin year-end process. Okay, right. So even before you begin the year-end process, right? So you just need to review your settings if everything is perfect or not. Like what all the what needs to be done in the year-end process. If you just go back to your leave configuration, right? So you would be able to view all your leave plans. Okay, so here we have this floater, special, casual, compa, floater again. Okay, so irrespective of the leave type, so you would be having all the settings here. So at the year end, so what needs to be happen to the balance? Okay, so here if I just check for floater, right? So here it says all the leave balances are paid. Paid as in encashment would be done for the employee. Okay, so for the special 99, so here we have all the leave balances are reset. So reset as in all the leave balances get expired and will be reset to zero. That means none of the leave balances will get carry forwarded to the next year, right? So if I just go back to the next option, which is casual leave. So here you see an interesting option, which is carry forward and then pay remaining. Okay, so you might have a question or you might be a little confused with the terminology stating like, what do you mean by carry forward and then pay remaining? Okay, so here carry forward as in, so you would be carry forwarding certain number of leaves. Okay, and you would be paying the remaining leaves. So let's assume I have a balance of 17, okay, in my bucket. Okay, I want to carry forward only 10 leaves and pay 5. So that means 10 would be carry forwarded, 5 would be paid, and remaining 2 would get lapsed. Okay, I hope I'm sounding clear on this front. So when you say carry forward and then pay remaining, so first you will do the carry forward, the number of leaves that you want to carry forward, and then pay the remaining number of leaves that you want to pay. And whatever the balance is left, right, so would get lapsed. Okay. So, however, let me just go in brief about the settings, like what am I referring to, like how do you manage if you want to change any of the leave setting. Okay. So the settings would remain same for all the leave types. So if I just want to edit any of the settings before initiating the year-end process, so I'll just click on these 3 dots against each leave type. I have an option of clicking on these 3 dots. I'll click on settings, right? So as soon as I click on settings, I would be having 3 different pages here, like accrual and accumulation, then applying leave and approvals, then the additional restrictions. So firstly, I need to do nothing here in the first page and second page. So I'll just quickly click on continue and continue, right? So here I'll be able to see this option in the third page, right? So in the third page under additional restrictions, I have this option of, so what happens to the remaining leave balance at the end of the year, right? Okay, so before that, we have a question like allow encashment to request for, sorry, allow employees to request for leave encashment anytime during the year. Okay, so if you enable this option, what happens is employees can encash the leave balance anytime in a year. Okay, so if you want employees to take fixed number of leave balance, or percentage of leave balance. I'll try to explain you with an example this setting. Okay, so let's assume the employee's leave balance at the end of the year is 15. Okay, and 15 got carry forward to the next year. Okay, so here I'm saying that only fixed number of leaves can be encashed. So 15 has been carried forward from the previous year, and I'm saying that employee can encash up to 10 days if his total balance exceeds 15 days. Right. So here I'm saying that he can encash up to only 10 days if the total balance exceeds 15. So that means the other 5 he would be able to. Okay, so the other 5 he would be able to either take as a leave or it get lapsed at the end of the year or as per the policy. Okay, so let's assume if I don't want to give as a number of leave balance, if I don't want to give it as a fixed number, if I want to give percentage of my leave balance. Okay, so here I would be able to say, please encash up to 40% of my leave balance and limit it or limited to maximum number of 10 leaves. Okay, so if my balance is 15 days. Okay, so here I'm saying it as employee can encash up to 40% of my leave balance. Okay, and limit to maximum of 10 days if the total balance exceeds 15 days. Okay, so here my balance is 15 days. Either I'm saying ki you can encash, either here I'm saying it, employee can encash up to 40% of his leave balance or a maximum of 10 days. Okay, even the 40% of the leave balance cannot exceed 10 days of his leave balance. I know these settings would be little tricky, so I suggest in case if you are facing any trouble at any stage, you can directly reach out to our support team, or you can drop an email to support@keka.com, or you can reach out to our chat channels available. Correct? Right. So that's about the encashment thing. If you want to if you want to allow employees to do the encashment anytime during the year. Okay. So if I just move to the next option, which is what happens to the remaining leave balance at the end of the year. Okay. So here I would be able to have different options. So first option is all leave balance are reset. Okay. So all leave balance are reset, as in all the leave balance get expired. So irrespective of the balance. So if it's a negative or positive, or if it is zero, so irrespective of the balance, it will get lapsed and it will be zero. Okay. So the next option is all balances are paid. So paid as in all the balances would be employee would be able to encash. So that means, so at the end of the year, so while doing year-end process, right? So all the leave balances get encashed to the employee, and employee will be getting paid certain amount, right? So then moving on the next option, which is all balances get carried forward. Okay. So right. So if you want to right. So in case if you don't want to get carry forward, okay. So there is an option stating that, so if you want to carry forward to a different leave type at the end of the year. So let's assume I have floater leave balance of 5. Okay. I didn't utilize in this particular current year. Okay. So going forward to the next year, if I don't want employees to take it from the floater, if I just want to transfer it to sick or medical leave, I can do that. So here I will enable this option stating that I'm carry forwarding this leave type to a different leave type. Okay, I'm not saying that again it will go under the floater bucket. So let's assume my company doesn't have a floater leave type in the next year. Okay, but I do want to carry forward this leave type. Okay, so I'll just say that all my floater leave would be carried forwarded to a different leave type, which is casual leave. So what happens? All the leave type from the floater would get carry forwarded to a different leave type, which is casual, at the end of the year during year-end process. Right? Okay. So any questions so far? Are we clear? What is floater leave? So floater leave, yes, we can, how it can be done. Right. So I think definitely there would be some team would be available. Web yes, we do. Okay. I think all the additional questions, we'll try to put a questionnaire, guys. So don't. So let's focus on the session. So if you have any questions on the session, like currently what we are going on, so you can just post the questions on that. Okay. So however, we'll be doing a 15 minutes of Q&A session at the end of this session. Okay. We'll try to do a 15 minutes of Q&A session. So if we clear on this, so we'll try to continue. Great. Right. So if it just go back to the next setting, right? So here it says pay first and then carry forward remaining. Okay. So this I have already explained you till I'll try to go here in deeper. Okay. So if the balance is more than 15 days, then pay 50% and carry forward up to 30%. Okay. So here I'm saying, so first of all, I have selected that as percentage of remaining leave. Okay. So if the balance is more than 15 days, then I'm saying it as 50% should be paid to that employee and other 30% should be carry forward and other 20% which is remaining will get lapsed at the end of the year. Okay. So if you don't want to give it in such setting, so if you just don't want to give in a percentage level, so if you just want to give it a fixed numbers, so let's assume if the balance is more than 10 days, if you want the employee to pay only uh 10 days and carry forward up to 3 days and remaining to get lapsed. So if you don't want to do that and if you want to carry forward everything, it's it. Okay. So here the other case. Right. So if I just refer to other case, right? So there is one more setting, carry forward and then pay remaining. Okay. So here I would be saying if the balance is more than 15 days, then carry forward up to 13 days and pay up to 2 days. Okay. So that means, so let's assume my balance, you might have a question like, what if my balance is more than 15? Okay. So let's assume if your balance is 18, then carry forward would be done only for 13 days and pay would be done for only 2 days. So that means the other 3 days would be getting lapsed. Okay. Because you are restricting here stating that only 13 would be carry forwarded and up to only 2 days would be paid to that employee. Right. So since we have selected as carry forward, right? So where does the carry forward go? The carry forward will go to the casual leave type. Okay, so that's about the what happens to the leave balance at the end of the year. So that those were the different settings here. So I'll just try to repeat what I have discussed till now. So first option, all balance are reset. So as in all the leave balances will get reset to zero, and none of the carry forward would be done, and encashment will also be not part of that. Right. So second option, all leave balances are paid. So as in irrespective of the balance, so all the leave balances would be paid to that employee. Right. So the next option, all leave balances get carry forwarded to the next year. So as in, so irrespective of the balance, all the balances from the previous year would get carry forward to the next year. So irrespective of the balance. So it's 10, 15, 23, 50. So irrespective of the balance, everything gets carry forward next year. Right. So the next option, pay first and then carry forward remaining. So that means a set a, a particular set of leaves would be carry forwarded and then you would be paying the rest of the amount to the employee in encashment. So the next option would be the pay first and then carry forward. So that means you would be paying the first the encashment and you would be doing the carry forward with the remaining leave balance. Right. So that's about the what happens to the leave balance. So if I just go back to the next setting, right? So which is, does carry forward leave expire after certain time? Okay. So again, this is a very interesting option. So let's assume employee's leave balance got carry forward from the previous year. Okay. So on Jan 1st, the employee got a carry forward of 15 from the previous year. Okay. So here you can mark a setting stating that. So if you just want to let employees to uh, take the leave only within 6 months. He need to take the carry forward leave. If you just want to make such setting, so you can just mention that 180 days. So that means all his leave balance will get, so whatever has been carried forward from the previous year will get expired after 180 days. Okay. So in case if the employee is not utilizing the leave balance properly, the leave balances will get expired after 180 days. Okay. Right. So if I just go back to, so if you just select the first option, right? So no carry forward leave doesn't expire after certain time. So that means, so if you are not taking the leave even after 180 days, still the balance remains same and it will not get expired. Okay. So if we will just go back and check the additional settings. Right. So this is about the leave consecutive settings. I think currently it's not required as of now because there's more of the leave balance. Okay. So if we check, if you're more focused on the year-end process, right, I think these are the few settings that are majorly required to view in the year-end process. So which is about the first option would be the encashment. So if you allow employees to encash anytime during the year, so that's one thing. And then what happens to the remaining leave balance at the end of the year? So this is the second thing. One, two, and the third one would be, so does carry forward leave expire after certain time? So these are the three things that needs to be taken care in each leave type. The third stage, which is additional restrictions, right? Okay. So are we clear so far? Any questions? I think many questions on the chat box. I know. Great, 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 great. Okay, then. So without much ado, let me just make you walk through the year-end process. Okay. So if I just quickly navigate to year-end processing step, right? So under actions, we have the settings called as begin year-end process. Okay, so even before you begin the year-end processing, right? So I suggest you to download the leave balance report. Okay, so what is the leave balance before year-end process? Okay, so from where you can download that report, I'll help you out that as well. So we have a section called as beside leave, which is reports. So if you just click on that section, which is reports. Okay, so it's very important for you to download this report. So we have this report like sixth report, leave consumed report, right? So you can download this report. Okay, so you can select the date range. Okay, so you can select all leave types, then the date range 1st Jan to December 31st, and click on run, and then you will be able to download this report. So I suggest you to download this report and keep it handy before initiating the year-end process. Okay, so I suggest you to make a note of it, which is, I'll help you try to navigate this path again. Time attend and reports, and under leave reports you have the sixth report. Okay, so leave consumed report. So this report you need to download. Okay, so it's very important for you to download and keep this report handy before initiating the year-end process. Okay, so once you're done with the download, you will just go back to the year-end process and just you will click on year-end process and you'll click on begin year-end process, right? So one important thing before you initiate the year-end process is no leave request of the previous year should be left unapproved. Okay, so until unless you take an action on that, you would not be able to go to the next step. Okay, so until unless you approve all the leaves for the year 2022, you would not be able to navigate, or I mean, you would not be able to go to the next step. Okay, so it's very important for any individual to approve all the leave balance. So you might have a question like why I should take an action on that. So until unless you approve them or a reporting manager, right? So until unless you download that report, sorry, until unless you take an action on all the leave balances, you would not be able to process to the next step, or the leave balances does get matched. Okay, so to keep the balances matched and everything to be accurate, it's very important for you to download the leave balances. Okay. Right. So once the leave balances have been approved, then only you would be able to move to the next step, which is leave balances and action. Okay. So here you would be able to waive like how many days are encashed as per your policy, and how many days are getting carry forwarded, and how many days are getting expired for each employee. Okay. So here you would be able to waive what leave type it is. So if you just want to check it leave type wise, so you'll just click on this leave type. So here I've selected as birthday leave. So here it shows birthday leave, balance is 1, encashment is 0, carry forward is 0, and days to expire is 1. Okay. So let's assume I want to carry forward 1 for sure. So I'll just edit and click on 1 and click on save. So now the balance got updated from expired to carry forward. Okay. So in case if I don't want to do that, so I'll just click on 0 and update. Okay. So likewise, you can update that. Okay, so it gets updated that. Right. So here you would be able to web the balance is 0, days to expire is 1 now currently. Okay. So in case if you want to override any of the leave balances, if you want to give, so let's assume this particular employee's days is getting carry forward at 7.5 as an exemption. If you want to carry forward all the 15, right? So you'll just try to update it here 15. Save. So that means all the 15 would be getting carry forwarded only for the single employee as per the exemption case. In case if you don't want to do that and if you want to go with the policy, then you will not click on edit. So this is like just an override option. So you have a leave policy. If you just want to override the existing leave policy, so you'll just click on this edit button. So which is available for both encashment and carry forward. So let's assume if I just want to encash, sorry. Mhm. Okay, so if I just want to encash 0.12 here. Okay, so here I said the encashment is 0.12 and carry forward is 0.12, but total balance is 0.24. So the my encashment would be done for 0.12 days and carry forward is done for 0.12 days. Right? Right. So once you are clear with these things, right? So you'll just click on next. So the next setting would be the encashment settings. Right. So as per the encashment policy, whatever you have, so here the amount would be shown. So let's assume it's 1500 if you are giving. So I'll just click on save. So the earlier amount was 0, but I'm giving 1500 to that employee. Okay. So here one interesting option is, so in which month you want to give encashment amount. So it can be a next payroll month or next pay, sorry, it can be a next pay cycle month, or it can be in the month of Feb or March. So it can be only the future months, so you cannot give it for the past months, right? So in case if you want to do a bulk action, so you'll select all and you have an option of encashment bulk. Okay, so you can select that and you can assign. So once you are done, so you'll just click on finalize. So I'm selling here it as March and click on finalize. Just give me one quick minute. Since it's a demo account, right? So I might be facing some issues here. So however, I'll try to change that and updating it as 0 so that I don't have any encashment currently. Okay. So currently, as per my policy, I don't have any encashment. So sorry, I think I do have one. Right. So currently, I would not be having any encashment as of now. So I'll just click on next. And here I should be able to waive 0 as an encashment policy, and I'll click on finalize. Right, so you should be able to, you should be aware that, so once you click on this finalize, right, so you would not be able to undo that. So it's a very risky option that you are taking step, and it's very risky step that once you finalize this, you would not be able to undo any of the settings. Okay, and you would, and you are supposed to not apply any leave for the previous year, because it will not get updated for the previous year. Instead, it gets deducted from the current year. Okay, so it's very important for you to apply leave for the previous year before initiating the year end process. So once you initiate the year end process, right, so you would not be able to make any changes, nor you would be able to apply leave. So it would be very difficult for you to do everything. So it's better you do everything once you complete the applying the leave balance for the previous year, and you approve all the leave balance, right? So once you click on confirm, the year end processing would be done, and all leave balances would be reflecting as per your leave policy, right? So here you would be getting an option of view processing results, right? So that's about the leave year-end process settings, and how do you configure that, and how do you initiate the year-end process. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can just put it over the chat, so I'll try to answer them. Right, so Prashant, so currently you don't have any date for that, so it depends on every organization, so at what time and which date they want to do that. Okay, so currently you don't have any, it depends on each organization, Prashant. So I would suggest you can do it on 2nd of Jan. You can give a buffer of 2 days for employees to apply leaves, and once they are back on Jan 2nd, which is Monday, so tell them to apply all the leaves and get it approved. So once they are approved, then you would be able to do the year-end process. Okay, and after this closing, yeah, you can do it after closing December payroll, so you have no such restrictions, and it's not linked with payroll at all. Okay. Right, so in case if you want to give carry forward only for technical team, yes, it's possible. Yes, as I have already shown you the override option, right? So you would be able to override the leave balance for the special cases. Sorry, I might not be able to answer all the questions. Then, since the questions are flooding more in number, let me just pick one more. Oh, our accrual setup is on last day of the month. So when can we do the year-end process? Okay, Naveen, I suggest you to do it on 2nd of Jan, Naveen. So it's better you do once the year-end processing and all the leave balance has been credited to the employees. Right, so all the leave balances are reset, no need of year-end process. Still, Veera Reddy, I suggest you to do the year-end process, because so once you do the year-end process, right, so all the leave balance from the previous year, the employee would not be able to apply again for the previous year. If not, again, the employee would be applying for the previous year. Again, he would be disturbing the leave balance. Okay, so it's suggested that you do the year-end process in though you have an reset policy. Only for 3 months we all I need to do it. So Dhruva, so in case if you want to carry forward only for 3 months, so you need to put a expiration policy of 90 days, so that all your leave balances will get expired after 90 days. Okay. Veera Reddy, I think I can have answered your question. Right, so let me check on the query of Ruchi, clear on the calculation process. So just one query. Suppose I have 50 leave balance in which I want on 20 to carry forward and 30 for Encash. And one of my employee have 40 leave balance and carry forward would be 20. So in settings, should I take high encashment days? Right, so here if you just see that case, right, so employer has a 40 leave balance, but as per your policy, you say 20 would be carry forward and 30 would be encashed. So as per your policy, it would be taking 20 carry forward and 20 would get encashed. And that's it. Right. So in case if you don't want to carry forward negative balance, right? So you do have a setting there. So you can say that reset to zero. Okay, let's just go back to the latest questions. Once all the leave balance are reset, but last year's balance we cannot get the report. Sorry, that year. Yes, Govinda, I think you can get that report. You have an YTD report. I mean, opening balance and closing balance report, Govinda. So you can just go back to. If you just go to leave reports, right? So there is a report called as opening balance and closing balance report, or leave year and process report number 15 under the reports. Okay, so there is a report called as leave year and process report. So you would be able to view that in that particular report. I think that report would help you. Right. I think Mansvi, I think you can do that settings, Manasvi. So you can set a setting that only 30 can be carry forwarded. So you can put a setting that you can select the option as carry forward and then pay remaining. In that you can select it as 30 would be carry forwarded and 0 would be paid. So that means you are paying nothing and everything would be, get lapsed on top of 30 balance. Right. So can we log the attendance so that employees cannot apply leave? We cannot do that, Pawan. So until unless you do the year-end process, employees would be able to apply leave. If you want to carry forward available leave for specific employee. Right, I think you have an import sheet for that, Vinay. So I think our support team can help you on that. Right, Ayman, I think that's the same thing for you as well. I think so. We do have a report called as carry forward report. So I think that report would help you out. Okay, so what if employee's last working day is on 2nd of Jan? I think you would not be doing the year-end process for that employee if he's a notice period. So we can just do the settlement, Manisha. Shreya, unfortunately, we are not available 24 by 7. So currently we are operating from 9:30 to 6:30 IST. Right. So there is one interesting question from Onkar. So if we do a leave encashment outside parents, in that case, you would be putting it as encashment as 0, and whatever needs to be carried forward, only that needs to be carried forwarded, and rest of the things will get expired. Right. I think Chandramon, I think you can drop an email to support, or you can reach out to our support team, which is chat team, which is available over the your chat channels on the screen itself. You can raise a request to them. They would be helping you on the support for the holiday import. Right. So, Jizar, currently we don't have any deadline for the year-end process that you can do any time of the year. So it's not like you need to do in the month of only Jan. So you can do it any time at any point of time. Right. So once you are done with the year-end process, all the accruals and the carry forwards would be shown. Naveen, it's currently not possible that you can do only for a set of leave type. So once you initiate the year-end process, the year-end process would be applicable for all the leave types. Nikita, Negi, is it important we can do the year-end process only on Jan? It's not really important, Nikita. So once you're back from New Year holidays, you can do that anytime. It's not that mandatory to do it only on 2nd of Jan. Only the carry forwards will not be getting reflected. Can you approve, reject the pending leaves of 2022, 23, or do we complete on Jan before? Right, I think you can approve it in Jan 2023. So it's just that you need to approve them before initiating the year-end process, guys. Aparna, I think I've answered your question to that. What if it doesn't do any changes? Can we schedule year-end process? Manalika, I think currently we can't schedule any year-end process thing. So I think in case if you want a scheduled call, I think that we can help. I think so. In interest of time, so we would be winding up the session now. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for your time. It was lovely having you, and thank you all you for your questions. I think that was really a wonderful session, and thank you for being lovely audience. I hope I've cleared most of your queries on the year-end process. For all the persons like whom I was unable to clear, really sorry for that. So you can still drop an email to support@keka.com. We'll try to answer your questions. And heartful happy new year to everyone. Stay home, stay safe, and even if you're partying, just make sure that you're taking precautions and take care. Thank you, everyone. Happy New Year once again. Bye bye.